the cryptocurrency market is overall having a down day today. Obviously, Bitcoin is trading at 11,254. And in today's episode, I really wanted to concentrate on Polkadot, Zilliqa, and Elrond, because like these are the types of cryptocurrencies that are sort of related, because they are trying to deal with the scalability type of problem. They're trying to solve this particular problem, and all the three cryptocurrencies are obviously implementing sharding, but the major difference is, for example, with Zilliqa, right? Zilliqa does network sharding in comparison to Polkadot and Elrond that really performs state sharding. So obviously the two types of sharding are slightly different, and network sharding is better in terms of scaling. However, they are both tremendous as well. But the other thing that I really wanted to talk about is the inability of Zilliqa to go to its previous all-time high, because the previous all-time high was around 0.23, right? Right now we are about 730% from the all-time low. The all-time low was this price right over here, and if we take a look at the maximum chart right over here, right, we are very, very far away from the previous all-time high. So obviously it is very possible that eventually we're going to end up going back there, and that is going to be like a very good opportunity for us to make money. But people are just getting wary due to the fact that Zilliqa is not really doing like a lot, and a lot of these other cryptocurrencies, such as Polkadot, they have had like tremendous runs. And since today is a down day, right? Polkadot is $5.75. It has had a -9 reduction in terms of its price, and that's not really that bad, because obviously it is performing very well. I'm not really going to dive into the Polkadot and Elrond charts, because you guys can do that on your own. And the other thing that really makes these two cryptocurrencies very different in terms of price appreciation is due to the fact that they have staking, and staking is a very good model where the prices are really forced to sort of appreciate in value, because there's obviously more people storing their either Polkadot and Elrond tokens in order for them to earn passive income. But in comparison to Zilliqa, right, Zilliqa doesn't really have any staking at the moment, unless I am mistaken. So yeah, that's the major difference between Polkadot and Elrond. This is one of the reasons why, if we take a look at the market cap valuation of Elrond, it's around 230. Zilliqa is around 221. Not very different. While Polkadot is the one which is way much more valuable, 5.1 billion US dollars. So let's take a look at the website of Elrond, because I wanted to talk about the staking that is involved, and this is one of the reasons why probably people are gravitating towards Polkadot and Elrond in comparison to Zilliqa, because they have that added advantage of them getting to use their money to work for them. So yeah, according to this one, everything now has its own main net. Polkadot recently launched its main net, and Elrond also launched its main net as well. So if we take a look at that, right, you guys are obviously able to earn about 36% on top of your staking whatever money that you dedicated to this particular project, and that's not really like a bad overall investment. Yearly returns 36 is obviously way much more greater than your bank account. Besides that, the prices are going to be appreciating in value. So first of all, you have price appreciation, which is going to increase your overall portfolio value, and then on top of that, you also have like a 36% return. So that's like a win-win situation. However, you have to really decide which staking is obviously better for you between Polkadot and Elrond. And right now, something really amazing happened. Like a few hours ago, Polkadot was way much more higher, especially with regards to ranking on CoinGecko.com, right? Even CoinMarketCap, right? Polkadot was on the 5th spot, and it actually briefly overtook Chainlink. But of course, Chainlink is returning its overall position. So we are seeing a very grand battle between Chainlink and Polkadot, and it really seems like Polkadot is coming from nowhere. Like all of a sudden, Polkadot is like really doing a whole lot of numbers, and it has really gained a lot of momentum. And if you take a look at this, right, Polkadot has been able to appreciate in value with a 92% price increment in barely 7 days. And this is one of the reasons that I really think that there is a myth with regards to cryptocurrencies in general, where people think, okay, if a project is above 2 billion, or if it's in the top 10, right, it can't really grow any further. So that is a very big misconception in cryptocurrencies. Like when it's time to pump, it's time to pump. It doesn't really matter whether you are sitting on the second position. It doesn't really matter. When people are really flocking to your project, it doesn't really matter if you are valued at over 26 billion. So this right over here proves that anything is possible. Like something which, a cryptocurrency which is way more than 2 billion had a 92% price increment. However, this is obviously sort of propelled due to the fact that there are a lot of bullish news. Polkadot recently got listed on the Coinbase custodian exchange, and people are really anticipating that there's going to be like a lot of good things with regards to Polkadot. Moreover, Polkadot also has staking as well, so you have all those sort of forces propelling the price to go higher. If you take a look at the reasons why Chainlink was able to like do tremendously well, right, it's due to the fact that they have like a very good tokenomics type of ecosystem that really allows the prices to sort of appreciate in value. And by the way, why the hell is XRP still on the 4th position? Like XRP is the most useless cryptocurrency because XRP is not really related to the Ripple ecosystem, because it's not really directly correlated. So this cryptocurrency is all about speculation, like it's not really using their business ecosystem, so that's just something that you just can't explain with regards to cryptocurrencies. Like sometimes things just happen for no reason. Okay, so I'm not really talking down on XRP. I'm sure there's a lot of XRP holders out there, and you guys are awesome, but I'm just saying, hey, this thing doesn't really deserve to be on the 4th place because it's not really doing anything. At least Ethereum, you can do quite a lot of different stuff with Ethereum. Tether is very useful. Chainlink is very useful as well. Polkadot is very useful. Bitcoin Cash, I'm not even going to jump into Bitcoin Cash. But anyhow, now let's talk about BTC. Because I just wanted to give you my opinion with regards to BTC, because I was looking at the Wall Street cheat sheet, right, the psychology of a market cycle, and I was wondering, did we hit depression or we are in the disbelief phase? Now that's a very good argument, because obviously when we experience the March type of drop, right, this particular dump that happened due to coronavirus, right, would we consider this level to be the disbelief, or rather, sorry, the depression phase? Is it this particular phase, or are we experiencing the disbelief phase right now? And obviously we're going to have like a little bit of a price correction, so nobody really knows. Or we might be able to be like in this hope area where there's a recovery, and eventually we're just going to end up going all the way back to euphoria. So I'm just I'm still debating on this one, but I really think that this was like a disbelief rally, a little bit of a suckers rally, and we're just going to have like a slight correction. We're going to have a slight correction in terms of the markets and in terms of BTC as well. So obviously getting to drop to let me switch over to the other chart. Looking at the simple moving averages, right? BTC has had a history of always going down to test the 20 simple moving average, the red line right over there. So that's around close to about 10,000. So obviously getting to drop all the way down here is something which is going to be very significant, because it is going to signify that we are sort of establishing like very good support. I mean, if we take a look at the history of BTC, right, ever since 2015, for some reason Bitcoin has always had the time or rather the opportunity to come back to the 20 simple moving average, and that really solidifies the continuation of the uptrend. So this is one of the reasons why I am anticipating that we're going to have like a situation where the price of BTC is obviously going to drop down to the 20 simple moving average. And right now, if we take a look at the location of the 20 simple moving average, it's like literally at the bottom. We are way too far away right now. So right now we are dangling right around the 6 simple moving average, which is like a faster simple moving average. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had to drop down to about 9,646 or even close to about 10,000. So that is like a very good 12 to about 18% dump right there, and that could be like a very lucrative short. But if you guys didn't really get to short around these areas, right, obviously the most recent one was around 11,598, around 11,600 basically, and the other short was around 11,813. But of course, when we're talking about a bull market, right? So clearly we are entering a bull market. So obviously the most logical thing that we are supposed to be doing is obviously getting to long the dumps as opposed to shorting the pumps, because the longs are going to be more lucrative in terms of you accumulating the profits, but sometimes it just depends on how aggressive you are. By the way, I am not a financial advisor. Moreover, I am not your financial advisor. And investing in cryptocurrencies is extremely risky. Do not buy anything just because Beyond 10x talked about it or because Muna recommended it. You just have to be extremely sober. Make sure that you are able to form independent decisions. So don't come on YouTube looking for financial advice, because if you get wrecked, you're going to end up blaming me, and I've got a lot of pressure in my life. I've got a lot of stress. I don't want to have your added stress. So please do not invest in anything just because I talked about it or just because I'm trading in a different way. So just like I was saying, right, it depends what type of trader you are. If you are aggressive and you've got the time, you can play with the price fluctuations, but is it worth it? So it all depends. It all depends on what type of trader you are. However, something very significant happened here. This is the TD sequential. We have formed the 9th perfect TD sequential, and right over here, even though it's like a 9 TD sequential, we still have a probability of going to the downside, okay? However, if we end up correcting here, I wouldn't really be surprised, but the TD sequential is not really that, because the TD sequential has got different rules as well. Not every 9 is a perfect 9. So you have to always understand. So this one right over here is giving us like a buy signal. This is like a buy signal saying, okay, the selling pressure towards the downside is done. And we might have like a little bit of retracement to the upside. But I really doubt, because there's always, like a false impression whereby the price sort of suddenly drops down and then continues going up. It's always giving us fake outs, and people who are like extremely bearish really end up being punished. But if we take a look at different oscillators, this is the RSI, yeah? So the RSI on the daily is coming closer to the 0 level. So we still have like a little bit of downturn to undergo. We still have like a little bit of downwards momentum to drive towards. So if we take a look at the the weekly, right? The weekly just basically came from the overbought area, which is very, very good. So that was obviously like a perfect opportunity to short. So that was corresponding to the 11,800 and obviously $12,400 level, and that was very good. So obviously, if we take a look at the medium time interval in terms of the weekly, right, we obviously have some more room in order for us to sort of come back to this oversold area in terms of the RSI, the relative strength index. So this is one of the reasons why my theory with regards to us dropping down to the 20 simple moving average around 9,600 or even close to 10,000 is very valid, because if you take a look at the resistance strength index on the weekly, there's still some downward momentum awaiting us. And yeah, that's that with regards to BTC. So overall, I'm sure you obviously enjoyed quite a number of good trades with regards to alternative cryptocurrencies, because the markets have been very gracious with regards to giving us a lot of opportunities. And I really hope that you guys obviously, enjoyed a few good trades. However, if you didn't really capitalize off of all these alternative cryptocurrencies, there's obviously going to be like better opportunities, and we are just entering a bull market. Like, we are in the pre-runner to the bull market. So this is one of the reasons why right now you are supposed to be identifying very good investments, very good cryptocurrencies that are really going to end up making you the most amount of money. And if you guys remember the 80-20 rule, right? Obviously, about 20% of your portfolio is going to make you the most amount of money. This is one of the reasons why the 80% we sort of try to pick as much investments as we can, and we sort of try to diversify our portfolio. This is one of the reasons why in that 80% on our portfolio, we try to put high risk, high rewards, was to put medium to low risk type of investments and all that stuff. So when it comes to making the most amount of money in a bull market, right, you really have to have like a very good strategic plan, and you really have to know what you're doing. You have to like sort of categorize your portfolio and just demarcate it in a proper way that really allows you to get the most amount of profits in terms of return on investment. So obviously only 20% of your investments are really going to end up making you the most amount of money. So you have to ask yourself, which cryptocurrency on my portfolio is most likely going to drop in the 20% that are most likely going to give me the most amounts of return on investment. So this is one of the reasons why you should always be scheming, should always be looking out and just knowing where the tokenomics of a particular project are most likely going to give you those returns on investments. And yeah, so far so good. There's a lot of opportunities out there. There's a lot of pumponomics, and we're slowly going to be addressing these issues. Ooh, look at the price of Elrond. I mean, it's still the same. Zilliqa, yeah, what was I saying? What was I even saying? I kind of lost my train of thought. So anyhow, you guys already know the business. With regards to Zilliqa, I really hope that the Zilliqa team are going to pull up their socks, because if they are going to continue being the way they are, there are going to be like a lot of cryptocurrencies that are going to be overtaking Zilliqa, and it's really a great project, and they have a lot of potential, and I would really love them to capitalize off of the momentum of the market, because if we end up losing this time, we're not really going to be able to like get the full value out of Zilliqa. And our competitors right now, such as Polkadot, Elrond, even though they are not really as scalable and as efficient as we are from a technological point of view, they are most likely going to be way much more valuable than us, because they've got better tokenomics. They've got an ecosystem that really allows each project to add value to their whole environment, if you know what I mean. So Zilliqa needs to do the same. We need adoption. We need staking. We need better tokenomics. I mean, obviously I did see the Zilliqa updates, and there was like an improvement in terms of burning of Zilliqa coins, tokens, whatever, and they kind of improved the token economics of the project. But we need to do more. Right now I would really love to see a lot of decentralized finance projects building on Zilliqa. However, they have quite a number of projects with regards to open finance in a lot of different Asian countries, so that could potentially bring in a lot of investments. And for example, HG Exchange is bound to bring a lot of capital inflow into the Zilliqa project, but this is obviously going to happen over time. And if we are banking on the XG Exchange to do its thing right now, it's not already plausible. It's not already something that can happen like right now. So I don't know, we'll see how it's going to go. But however, I really think Zilliqa is a very good project, but they just need to fix a few things, then I'm going to be the happiest person on earth. So anyhow, take a look at Polkadot, take a look at Elrond. Staking on both projects might be lucrative in the future. And the other day I did take a look at the Polkadot ecosystem, Polka project. So if you really want to make easy money, all you can do is pick a few DeFi projects with regards to Polka project. Like for example, Kizen's network is very undervalued. Mantra DAO, Acropolis as well. You're going to be able to do basically very well. So if you want to look at these individual projects, you can take a look at them and then find the ones that really suit you the most, and you're going to be very good to go. So anyhow, it's been Muna, aka Beyond 10x. We did talk about a lot of stuff, so I hope you guys enjoyed my little rant, and I hope you understand the way that I think with regards to investments and with regards to doing things. Of course, I'm not perfect. Like for example, the other day, the past few weeks, I did talk about a few high risk, high reward type of projects, such as Mix Network and Peer Exchange, and this significantly dropped. Okay, so those are the types of investments that it happens. Sometimes you bank on something which is highly risky and highly rewardable, and then sometimes it just ends up doing the opposite of what you anticipated, because I initially told you it's a high risk, high reward type of investment. And these things happen. You just have to move on, go on to the next one, and just learn from your mistakes. So obviously those weren't really the best investments, and who knows, eventually, I don't know, 6 months from now they might be doing very well, but right now, as of today, they are performing very badly. But to all the people who are going to be watching this in the future, maybe it's going to be doing very well in the future, but you just have to look at the time span as well. It's only been like a week, and these cryptocurrencies are bound to rebound, so it just depends. It's relative. The people who are going to be watching this video in the future, 6 months to about 12 months from now, they're going to be thinking, man, I should have been buying. But people who invested a few weeks ago, they are saying, man, I should have been selling. So everything is relative. It is relative, and it just depends on how much time you're going to end up being with a project or a product, and what time frame you're dealing with. If you are investing for the long run, you're obviously going to stand a better chance in terms of recouping your money in comparison to somebody who just bought last week and they are panic selling right now, because they are obviously going to encounter more than a 50% loss. So it just depends. If you have the stomach to wait it out, eventually you're going to do very well. So it just depends on the time frame as well. And on the contrary, we did talk about some other high risk, high reward type of investments, such as BRI, SBRI, synthetic BRI, which is coin breeder DAO. So this one did very well, and I'm super proud about this one because it did like an all-time high yesterday. So take a look at this. Yesterday it reached $33. When I spoke about it, it was fluctuating between $12 to about $14, and eventually yesterday it did do like 100x. And I'm sure a lot of people really ended up enjoying this particular trade. And you can also stake your CBDs, or sorry, your BRI tokens. You need about 500 BRIs in order for you to like get that nice juicy return on investment. So this is one of the reasons why CBDAO is going to be like a very good project in the future, and it might even go to top 10. Okay, but you have to understand this is a high risk, high reward type of thing. If you invest now around $24, there's a high likelihood that it's going to end up correcting, because this thing is actually up by 103% in a matter of a few weeks. So if you invest now and saying beyond 10x that is going to go to top 10, right, and the price ends up correcting, they're going to end up blaming me. So you have to do your technical analysis, obviously get in where you fit in. When the price drops and comes back down at a much more better and convenient price, then you can try to get in. However, this one did very well. I'm sure you guys already enjoyed this one, and I'm going to be adding more and more money to this one. So besides that, I also looked at is it Cajun's network? I mean, Acropolis also did very well as well. Acropolis did very well as well. MantraDAO did very well as well. Then we also talked about Serum. Serum was also one of those high risk, high rewards type of cryptocurrencies, and this one performed very well as well. So yeah, SRM, and it's actually dropped in the top 100% cryptocurrencies. It's part of the top 100 cryptocurrencies. So when I talked about Serum, right, it was around $1.61, and it had explosive growth. Okay, so with regards to Mix and Peer X tokens, right, they obviously didn't perform very well, but if in comparison to these other cryptocurrencies that I talked about, Serum, CBDAO, Acropolis, Keygens, they perform very well. So that's why I was saying that in your cryptocurrency portfolio, right, you are going to be having like different cryptocurrencies that are going to be making you money, and some that are already going to be losing you a lot of money. But you have to make sure that your winners are much more larger or more than the losers, so that you can balance it out and overall do very well. So that's just something that I really wanted to clarify, because I saw a lot of comments with regards to Mix Network and PRX, and I'm not perfect. I also have bad trades at times, and sometimes you just have to be honest with yourself and just understand this is how the game goes. Sometimes you just play some gambles or some risks on certain cryptocurrencies that you think have got like an explosive growth, and sometimes they just end up doing very well. So that's why you only have to invest in high risk, high reward type of investments with money that you do not need. Okay, so if you really want to be safe in the crypto market, just buy Bitcoin or Ethereum, but if you want to make more money, sometimes you have to like encounter more risk, and encountering more risk might mean that you might end up buying some projects that are very questionable. So that's just the reality of how these things are, and I'm just trying to be honest with you, because losing is part of the game. Losing is also part of the game. But by the end of it, all you have to make sure that your winners are more than your losers, and you learn from a particular situation. I learned a lot from Mix Network. I also learned a lot from Peer Exchange. So that makes me like an overall better investor, because I've got something that I'm going to be looking at in order for me to avoid going the very path of losing money, if you know what I mean. So that's just how the game goes. It's been your boy Muna, aka Beyond 10x. Hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.